Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070. Over.
Could Raccoon City be saved? In Resident Evil 3, Raccoon City had been under siege by the T-virus outbreak for 192 hours. Within this time frame, an untold number of people either died, became infected, or simply vanished. Any and all police and military personnel had either abandoned the city or were killed within its limits. This was all before the US government deployed a thermonuclear bomb to the small city on the morning of October 1st, 1998. The result was a death toll of over 100,000 innocent lives. This was done in an attempt to keep the virus from spreading outside the city. But could the city have been spared this fiery fate? Just within the first 72 hours of the outbreak's start, the city was absolutely crawling with the undead. While at this point there were still several decently large pockets of survivors within the city, it is estimated that the undead had already outnumbered the living 80 to 1, which would leave at most 1,000 to 150 living people. Though this is a generous amount given the absolutely horrifying scenario, this would have already deemed the city as a lost cause to the US military, as most of the dispatched military and police were already vastly overwhelmed, and sending in reinforcements would be an incredibly risky move considering most killed in action will simply become more of the undead. So a direct military assault would be out of the question. So what about a siege? Well, a siege likely would be an exercise in futility, and would not only lead to certain death for any survivors still inside the quarantine zone, but this would put more military personnel in danger of infection in case any zombies get too close and overwhelm a link in the siege wall. You have to remember, sieges are meant to wear the enemy down by depriving them of resources like food and reinforcements. But the enemy they are facing doesn't need food, water, sleep, or anything to survive. So this would go absolutely nowhere and would likely just lead to the infection spreading. What about possibly curing the infection? Now it would be possible for the US to figure out a cure, but not likely as fast and as effectively as they would need to. Remember, they are on a tight time crunch, and every day that goes by, the chance of a wider spread outbreak increases. So discovering a cure without prior knowledge of Umbrella's vaccine would be close to impossible for any team of scientists to accomplish given the scenario. So what other options do we have? Perhaps if the government was able to produce a virophage or helper virus to spread amongst infected individuals in a timely fashion and kill them off without directly combating them, then could the city be saved? But this would again take far too long. After all this, it seems Raccoon City would be completely lost. However, there's one last avenue we could try. A honeypot operation could take place and try to bait most of the undead into designated kill zones. This could be achieved by using low-flying helicopters, leading them into more open areas to be taken out by firebombing runs. However, this would be an insanely complex operation to run, plus it could take days just to corral the hordes of infected into these kill zones, thus killing any survivor's chance of making it out alive due solely to how long this would take. After all this, there seems only one option available, and unfortunately, it was decided before the government even got involved. Umbrella had dug its claws into various political figures already by this time. These individuals would already have an idea of what's happening inside the city and what could happen if the truth were to escape. So no matter what the consensus was around destroying the city, Umbrella's influence would have swayed the decision to total annihilation to destroy any and all evidence of their connection to the incident. In the end, the government did not want to risk the chance of furthering the outbreak. Without time on their side, and an ever-growing unrest within the nation, a decisive choice needed to be made. In the early morning hours, as the bomb approached the epicenter of the worst viral outbreak to occur in human history, many innocent people still hid inside their homes. It was here in the dark, amidst the moans of their neighbors, did they hope to be saved. They were scared, confused, and broken beyond belief, but still they held out hope that surely someone would save them. Then with a single flash, they would be reduced to nothing but a number.